That's so fascinating. I didn't how so many of your experiences and just what you enjoy doing, like how much of that crossed over into things that you've done or decided to do in different either different projects or different working on yourself, things like that. I think I don't know. That's I wouldn't expect that, but that makes total sense.
I mean, that's something I learned from my father. The artist's way is to bring all of your experience to bear on the moment, to be in the moment, but to bring everything you have, to bring your A game always. And that's one of the things I really admired about my dad. Whatever he was doing, it didn't matter. And I talk about it in the book. He would give these readings on the book of Jonah on Yom Kippur to a half empty, not even half empty. There might be 24 people in the congregation, but it never mattered to him. He was just a consummate professional and always brought the best of himself, no matter what the circumstances were. It was something that's one of the many things that I admired about his dad. And that's one of the big issues with the book was that I had to be very careful of, and that I had some really good direction editorially, is that even though I humanized my dad by talking about some of his foibles, I'm very careful to say that I always respected him and his work. I was always proud of him and his work. And I'm very careful to say that this is a guy who was raised by a couple of Russian immigrants who didn't know anything about America, pop culture, parenting. They were just trying to survive. They left because the family was being killed periodically in the village they were living in. And that my dad came out to LA desperate to survive. And that was just a whole different mindset. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that there are so many things I learned from my dad, and there's so many ways that I'm grateful that he was my dad. I loved the ride, but I did have to deal with some of the challenges of being the son of Leonard Nimoy. And yeah, it's like any other father-son relationship. And that's why I hope the book resonates with people. But I had this extra added element, which was that he was adored by millions of people all over the world.